Hi, I'm Andy Ellis. I'm the host of this show and a potential Green Party candidate for governor of Maryland in 2026. I'm using this show to highlight interesting people and ideas that help me and you to understand what is happening and what is possible. You can learn more about the campaign by going to gogreen2026.com. Guests on this show do not necessarily support my campaign or the Green Party. They've agreed to come on to discuss ideas and issues. And of course, click the subscribe button on YouTube so you can keep up to date with this podcast.
Some view challenges as opportunities, but let's leave that aside. And what do you see as the as three major opportunities that our state has?
Yeah, so I think Maryland has done a good job by investing and making a multi-year investment in education. The blueprint for education is the kind of thing that we should be doing because that helps to address that social mobility, and that makes sure that the people who, poor and working class and middle class folks have access to the highest quality schools that we can provide. So I think the education investments that Maryland has made pose a huge opportunity. They draw people to live here, they draw young families here, they draw people to come and study here and things like that. And I think we need to continue to make those investments so that we can address some of the challenges that we have. The second one I would say is grassroots organizing. One of the things that I've found when I go all over Maryland, whatever the issue is the ability of communities to come together and advocate for things in order to change the conditions of their community. This is a thing I think that works here better than I've seen work in many other places. And as you know, I've traveled around the country. I've got to see New York, California, Vermont, Wyoming. And I think here we have communities with a tradition of activism and with a spirit to make sure that they understand what needs to change in order to make their communities better. And I think if we can mobilize those folks and give them great resources, the opportunities are limitless. The third thing I would say is I think we have a real possibility here to have a multi-party democracy at the state level. Multi-party democracy is more about compromise and less about power. It's more about consensus and less about winning. And I think that really helps us to address many of the challenges that we face. Because we already have a 3-person General Assembly set up, a district, 3 people in each General Assembly district, I think we have the opportunity to explore some forms of democracy that work in the rest of the world. Things like proportional representation and things like that would allow minoritarian voices to have more impact, to be heard more often. So structurally, we're set up well to make some great reforms in that area. And I think if we can make reforms to our democratic system and we can continue to invest in education, that will allow the people who are doing grassroots and community work to have outlets in order for to fix things, and also have the opportunity to learn new skills and to put those to good use in the service of the state of Maryland and their communities.